And here we go, tables match action underway.
This is savage, Cole. The human body wasn't designed to be thrown through furniture.
With AJ Styles in the ring, you know this match is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, the only thing I can possibly dislike about the match is that you're calling it with me. Lariat!
It shouldn't be a shock that the Dudley Boys were involved in one of the most intense tables matches we've seen in recent memory. At the 2015 TLC event, the Dudleys called on their Extreme brothers Tommy Dreamer and Rhino to battle the Wyatt family in an 8-man elimination tables match. People were flying everywhere that night, and in classic ECW fashion, so were the trash cans and kendo sticks.
The match in 2015's TLC event with the Dudleys, Tommy Dreamer and Rhino versus the Wyatts, was chaos from the second all 8 superstars were in the ring. Braun Strowman was awesome in his destruction of all 4 members of Team Extreme, but the ECW originals kept their focus on making sure each member of the Wyatt family crashed through a table.
The ECW's originals love a brawling clash, with the Wyatts' drive to destroy anyone who stepped in their path. The Wyatts took the advantage after Rhino and Devon Dudley were eliminated, and they didn't look back. Bubba Ray took on the Wyatts with everything he had, but the sick power of the Wyatt family was just too much, as seen when Braun Strowman chokeslammed Bubba Ray through the final table. Guys, when you look at Brock Lesnar and his massive frame, I think it's safe to say the man was built for destruction. Lesnar looking to fly.
Lesnar truly is built for destruction.
German after German by Brock. There it is. Oh, man, AJ Styles is in trouble.
You can never count AJ Styles out, but his few losses of note have come from bigger opponents who countered Styles' aerial attack.
If you're gonna beat Styles, you need a strong move. Roman Reigns barely escaped their rivalry, but he got 2 big wins with some well-timed spears.
To your point, Corey, I can think of another time strength stopped the phenomenal one. When John Cena rolled from an attitude adjustment into a second AA to win their classic match at the Alamo Dome.
And you can't forget AJ's match against Brock Lesnar. Styles survived Suplex City, but fell to an F5. Beating Styles requires a lot of power and even more luck. Harsh impact. Things have gotten worse for AJ Styles. Man. Looks to me like he just hit a wall.
I think this one's over.
Whether you love him or hate him, if you're human, you have to feel for him right now.
Nailed it.
Incredible.
There was a lot of force behind that one. You want to talk about WWE Hall of Famers taking things to the extreme? The first time many fans saw somebody put through a table was in 1984. Randy Macho Man Savage drove Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express through a table with a pile driver at the Mid-South Coliseum.
It's worth noting that an amazing 8 Great American Bash pay-per-views took place in this great city of Baltimore.
Corey, I remember seeing photos of that horrible scene in wrestling magazines. The pile driver was utilized when Terry Funk planted Nature Boy Ric Flair on a table at WCW's Wrestle 89 pay-per-view. And something happened in sports entertainment in the early 90s called Extreme Championship Wrestling. ECW superstars crashed through tables all the time.
And what was going on in Philadelphia caused a craze of wood being turned into wood chips thanks to tables matches. In order to win a tables match, a competitor must be the first person to put their opponent through a table. We've also witnessed brutality evolve and superstars crash through flaming tables. It's quite the accomplishment to win a championship at WrestleMania and carry it all the way to next year's WrestleMania. But Brock Lesnar did that by winning the Universal Championship from Goldberg in 2017 and retaining it against Roman Reigns in 2018.
The great ones always explode when they have the chance.
He might have it.
AJ Styles with a nice reversal.
Byron brought up Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship dominance in back-to-back WrestleManias. You have to go back 30 years for similar circumstances at the showcase of the Immortals.
Yeah, but even though both Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan won WWE Championships at WrestleMania and held the title until next year's show, both men were dethroned after 1 year on top. Brock's the only person in WrestleMania history to ever win the title 1 year, hold it all 12 months, and then retain it.
There are so many different ways for a superstar to put their opponent through the table in a tables match. Some matches start off as wild brawls and a table is brought out from under the ring in the match's opening minutes. In others, superstars are very strategic about when they bring out a table because they know if they're not careful, momentum can be reversed and they could end up being the one who goes through a table.
There he goes, crashing to the floor. Byron, you talked about strategy that involves a tables match. I was in WWE when the Dudley Boys came from ECW, and you could say that things changed a bit thanks to Bubba and Devon. Something that's also important to remember in a tables match is that it's not important how or where the table is positioned. All that matters is that you put your opponent through it.
It's a very simple premise, Michael, but superstars have to be careful. They launch an attack that goes awry, their own momentum can put them through the table and cost them the match. That doesn't include feeling the incredible pain from crashing through a solid wood table. 1 split second can be the difference.
There haven't been many performers who can claim their first WrestleMania match was in the main event. But then again, there haven't been many performers like Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that's true, Michael. Lesnar debuted the night after WrestleMania 18, and 1 year later, he was closing out the showcase of the Immortals, battling Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship.
You guys brought up Brock Lesnar's first WrestleMania. Yes, it was the main event, but you failed to mention that he won that main event match too.
Yeah, Corey, it was a brilliant mixture of technical wrestling and all-out brawling that only Angle and Lesnar can deliver. Miraculously, Lesnar survived missing a shooting star press and hit Angle with an F5 to end WrestleMania 19 as the WWE Champion.
You guys know what I like most about Brock Lesnar? It's that he lets his actions in the ring do the talking for him. I wish a lot more people would employ that strategy.
Boom, what impact! When Brock is feeling it, good luck to you.
This one's for good measure. Some superstars love to talk the talk, as Corey was alluding to.
This one's over, guys. Through Kofi Kingston's career, the exciting superstar has competed in several types of WWE matchups. It didn't take long for Kofi to get comfortable in the tables match environment. At 2011's TLC event, Kingston took on the Celtic Warrior Sheamus in a tables match for the United States Championship. Kofi was impressive in the match as he combined defense with his unbelievable high-flying assaults.
I don't believe it.
And that table can shorten careers, Michael.
Byron, you spoke about Kofi Kingston's tables match against Sheamus at 2011's TLC event. Some people feel that match was one of the turning points for Kingston. That night, Kofi's usual fun-loving nature took a backseat to a more focused and offensively aggressive competitor. Kofi Kingston's focus was leaving TLC the new United States champion.
And that approach paid off, Michael. Kofi seized opportunity when Sheamus made a rare mistake. He drilled the Celtic Warrior with the Trouble in Paradise kick, and that set up Kofi to...
Now he's working that exploit.
Suplex City. AJ's in big trouble now.
It gets more and more impressive each time we see it.
The Woods calling. Somebody's about to go through the table.
Batten down the hatches.
F5.
Oh, my. That's worth another look. Yeah, I want to see that again.
Well, it doesn't have the legacy of Raw and SmackDown. WWE.
Brace for impact. Here it comes.
With the F5.
Bang!
Corey, check this out.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Batten down the hatches.
F5.
Oh, my. Just when you thought he had nothing left.
But now, can Lesnar make the most of this?
Michael, that jacked match from 2002 is actually on WWE.com. During the match, Jonathan Coachman mentions how great a prospect AJ Styles was in the early 2000s.
See, even back then, Coach was smarter than you. And don't forget Styles' opponent. He fought the Hurricane. It was no pushover back then. At that point, Hurricane had more experience, but Styles almost pulled off a win on Jack.
It shouldn't be a shock that the Dudley Boys were involved in one of the most intense tables matches we've seen in recent memory. At the 2015 TLC event, the Dudleys called on their Extreme brothers Tommy Dreamer and Rhino to battle the Wyatt family in an 8-man elimination tables match. People were flying everywhere that night, and in classic ECW fashion, so were the trash cans and kendo sticks.
Match of 2015's TLC event with the Dudleys, Tommy Dreamer and Rhino versus the Wyatts, was chaos from the second all 8 superstars were in the ring. Braun Strowman was awesome in his destruction of all 4 members of Team Extreme, but the ECW originals kept their focus on making sure each member of the Wyatt family crashed through a table.
The ECW's originals love a brawling clash with the Wyatts' drive to destroy anyone who stepped in their path. The Wyatts took the advantage after Rhino and Devon Dudley were eliminated, and they didn't look back. Bubba Ray took on the Wyatts with everything he had, but the sick power of the Wyatt family was just too much, as seen when Braun Strowman chokeslammed Bubba Ray through the final table. Through Kofi Kingston's career, the exciting superstar has competed in several types of WWE matchups. It didn't take long for Kofi to get comfortable in the tables match environment. At 2011's TLC event, Kingston took on the Celtic Warrior Sheamus in a tables match for the United States Championship. Kofi was impressive in the match as he combined defense with his unbelievable high-flying assaults.
Byron, you spoke about Kofi.
Here it is. Brock Lesnar has done it.
These guys gave everyone their money's worth. Here's another look.
He's going to want to make sure he saves every minute of this match for his personal highlight reel because he was on fire in this one.
The human body wasn't designed to go through tables with such force.
Hey, they both gave it their all, but in the end, we were left with the best man standing.
And it certainly looks like somebody will be plucking splinters from their back for days.